You have the floor.
Good evening and welcome to the Board of Elections and Registration Board meeting. Today is February 9th and we will begin the meeting at 5:03 p.m. I do ask before we start that if you're not speaking, to please mute your phones today. And with that, if we can have the approval of agenda first.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as provided.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Next, do we have any citizen comment, Director Kidd?
Madam Chair, we had no citizens request to speak at this meeting.
Okay, thank you. Next is the approval of minutes for January 12th board meeting minutes. Do you all have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is that Michelle? Okay, and a second?
Madam Chair, this is Maurice Hurry. I'll go ahead and second it.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hearing any nays, I guess? Hearing none, the minutes is approved. Next, we'll have felon hearings.
And we mailed out 4 felon letters. None was returned.
4 mailed, none returned. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we'll have office operations report.
The office operations report will begin with myself. The elections office has acquired a new position in the office, an administrative coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please welcome Ms. Crystal Danley Bridges, please. She'll be hopping in on Ms. Green's email, I believe.
Welcome, Crystal. Looking forward to working with you.
She's in the office.
She's sorry, she can't get her. She's trying to get logged in still.
That's why I was asking her to come to your
It's
office.
on.
I'll be logged in a minute.
Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I think that here she comes.
Oh, they want to say something? Oh, what you do?
Swap places, please. Ms. James.
Yeah, you have those backgrounds on. It's hard to have 2 people there together. So,
Please excuse the naming. This is Miss Crystal Danley Bridges. Miss Crystal.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I'll be the administrative coordinator for Board of Elections, so if you guys need anything, please don't hesitate to call.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
After this meeting as well, Ms. Crystal will be taking over the administrative functions for our board meetings as well. So you will be hearing from her going forward. The next piece of the office operations report is Ms. Tisha Green.
Malcolm and I attended the Douglasville City Council meeting last Thursday. We informed them of the changes to municipal election law, and we discussed the cost estimate for the November the 7th municipal election. And that'd be all for me.
Yes. As part of the municipal election season, we have begun communicating with the municipality of Villa Rica in order to accept a proposed redistricting changes to their voting districts. At their last council meeting, they did approve new maps, and our office will move forward with moving those affected voters, and we will mail out precinct cards to affected voters. We will also be submitting a bill to the city of Villa Rica for postage required for redistricting mail out as well. The next part of the office operations report is Mr. Malcolm Monvallo.
Next week, the office will be attending the annual Georgia Association of Voter Registration and Election Officials Conference from Monday, February 13th until Wednesday, February 15th in Jekyll Island. This is to maintain election certification for our office and an opportunity for staff to be trained on new procedures and legislation.
This concludes office operations report at this time. If there are any questions.
I do have one question. I think this is for Director Kidd, or maybe for Deputy Director as well. The first question is about the municipal election. When you all met in front of council, I think you said, Douglasville City Council, what were some of the asks, and are they aware of the budget, and how does the budget look between the city and the county when you're doing the election?
Oh, okay. For a municipal election, the municipality is responsible for the cost of the municipal election. Typically, you give them a cost estimate. We did provide the city with a cost estimate, which includes the coverage of 14 precincts that are in the city of Douglasville, as well as the 3-week advance voting period for the municipal election. Typically, the way it works is the county goes through, we have an intergovernmental agreement with the municipality that we essentially do the administrative function, including conduct the election, and we bill the municipality after the election.
Okay. And then my second question is about the voters that will be affected by the redistricting. Which precincts are those, or do you all know?
For the city of Villa Rica, the only precinct that we have in that municipal district is Mirror Lake precinct. But what's going to happen is the city has essentially, it will be pulling in additional pieces into Douglas County, such as parts of Ward 3, which were not part of Douglas County under their previous maps. So most all voters will still be assigned to the same precinct. We'll just be gaining a small portion of voters that will be assigned to that precinct. But all affected voters, once we take full possession of the maps as well as street changes, will go into the voter registration system and update those voters. We will issue at that time a precinct card to the affected voters. Currently, Mirror Lake's precinct stands at about 6,000 people. We may pick up a couple hundred more with this redistricting phase.
Okay, thank you. Are there any additional questions from the board?
Yeah, Madam Chair, just real quick on that same vein, have we thought about a lot of people for that one precinct? Have we thought at all about redistricting that precinct to other precincts at all, especially given that we're adding more people to it?
The challenge that we face with that is the fact that you really want to keep a municipal precinct within the municipality. The city of Villa Rica is actually split between 2 counties. We share this with Carroll County. Now, a municipality can agree or can come to an agreement with either municipality to conduct their elections. In this particular case, the city of Villa Rica has chosen to have an agreement with both counties. I don't really anticipate. The Mirror Lake precinct is a school precinct. So typically that precinct operates in a gymnasium, so we're not really battling with space. And that particular precinct during large election years too also has a heavy advanced voting turnout as well. So their election day needs are not as extensive as the numbers for that precinct.
Any additional questions? Okay, thank you, Director Kidd and staff. Next, we'll move into old business.
For old business, we have been looking at possible sites for our department to relocate out of the courthouse. as well as working with legal counsel to draw up the lease proposal to present before the Board of Commissioners. Anyone that has voted in the Douglas County Courthouse in the past 2 years will understand that our limited spatial capacity during the early voting season is one of the needs by which we need to move from this current location in order to be able to process voters in a more effective and efficient manner than we're able to do here at our current location.
Okay.
That piece, and then the second piece of that is our entire staff has attended training on the new voter registration system, Jarvis, and has gone live on February the 6th. This was the first day for this new system. The registration system maintains voter files, including their precinct information, as well as election participation history. Mr. Smith has the next part. You're muted, Phil.
Good afternoon. The Secretary of State's office has notified our office of their plans to update the internal operating system of our voting equipment. This will include BMDs and scanners. It is anticipated that this process will take place this spring. We will coordinate with the Secretary of State's office on time and place. After installing the new update, the Secretary of State's office will perform an acceptance test on each machine. We've also been received notification from First Baptist Church, Douglasville, that they no longer wish to remain a polling place. After discussions, they have graciously agreed to serve as a polling place during this election season for the municipal election in November. A new location will be chosen for the 2024 election cycle. As this process moves forward, our office will be in contact with all affected voters. We are appreciative of First Baptist for their service to the Douglas County community.
This concludes old business at this time, and we'll entertain any questions.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? Okay, Board Member Hurry.
Good afternoon. Mr. Smith, did First Baptist give a reason why they didn't want to be a voting precinct anymore?
Yes, they did. That decision was influenced by the current political climate and tensions. They did not wish to have campaign signs on their property. It has raised concern among some members of their congregation.
Okay, any more questions? And I agree with Director Kidd or with Ms. Smith. Many thanks to the First Baptist Church for your service over the years. So with that, if there's no more questions, we'll move forward to.
I have a question.
Okay, I'm sorry, Board Member. Go ahead.
Forgive me. So for the Jarvis, last meeting, I believe it was you, Ms. Good, that brought up the whole the voter rolls and trying to make sure all that's taken care of. I guess kind of like I would like to see perhaps a demonstration of this new system if possible. I would like to see it working and just get a demo from maybe you guys or the manufacturer just to kind of see how it's working and see where we are with the security aspects of it, any vulnerabilities of it, how it's maintained with the state information on a periodic basis, just to see how the new system's working.
Okay, now to follow up with that one, the voter registration system in itself and the security measures that are in place are not maintained at a county level. This is a state-based system that all counties are required to input their voter registration information into. Now, as far as how the system works, we can schedule time, board member, for you to come into the office and we can go over what we have been trained on as far as the aspects of the system. This is the implementation of a brand new system that the state contracted to have built. So it is still in its infancy and being, I would say, at this point, they're still in the implementation phase. So this is the preliminary rollout of this particular system. We can reach out to the Secretary of State's office with the questions that you're posing as a board and let them know that these are issues of concern based off of our board members. If we can have someone from the Secretary of State's office address those questions, we will coordinate that with you after this meeting.
Great, thank you, Director Kidd. Any more questions? Okay, so hearing none, we'll move to new business.
New business, we'll begin with Mr. Smith as well.
In the coming weeks, we will perform routine preventative maintenance and assessing all of our voting equipment. This is to ensure the proper working conditions. I've been working with our inventory manager to get an accurate accounting of our equipment, as well as other election-related supplies in order to be properly prepared for the upcoming November municipal election.
Okay, the next part will be Ms. Crystal. You're muted, Ms. Crystal. When staff assist Ms. Crystal with unmuting that. While we wait on Ms. Crystal to unmute. So. I'll essentially go into her part. She was essentially stating that the county has implemented a new time management system for tracking employee time that's accrual and payroll functionality. The administrative staff here in the office did attend training this week on this new system and discuss the implementation time frame. The county has an anticipated time frame of 6 months for full implementation. The office is excited about this new time management system because it will allow us to be able to feed directly into our payroll system when we have all of our poll workers functioning, and to be able to process payroll in a more efficient and effective manner. This concludes, if there are no more questions, new business at this time.
Okay, thank you all. Any questions for Director Kidd and staff? Okay, so hearing none, at this time we will move into executive session to discuss a current litigation as well as a potential litigation. So with that, may I have a motion to move into executive session?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Seeing none, we will return right after executive session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for your time today. We are now out of executive session. There were no voting matters taken. And again, we just discussed a current litigation as well as a potential litigation. At this time, are there any board member concerns? Okay, so hearing none, our next regular board meeting is Thursday, March 9th at 5:00 p.m. It will be held virtually, and we hope you all have a great evening. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to see about if we could have a conversation with you, the staff, about the communications with board members and what that looks like. And I'm not sure the proper procedure to make it happen, Director Kidd, but if you could, you know, at this point, I'm getting kind of a once a month shot at what's going on. I don't know if we could have a conversation about what that looks like from your side, or maybe the board members, what that looks like from our side, about more than just once a month communications on the agenda, maybe some news and notes, you know, by, you know, every couple weeks or something like that, but just a little more communications about perhaps what's going on and what's to come, more than just the once a month. So that's just one concern I have. I don't see it necessarily as a concern, but more of a recommendation, just to kind of keep, you know, tabs on what's going on a little better.
We can facilitate that too, but this board is also at its discretion able to reach out to the office and ask for updates, or participate or stop by the office, and we can go over what we're doing that week as well, outside of our regularly scheduled meetings as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just touch base with you then offline, and we'll do it that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any more board member concerns? Okay, seeing none, we stand adjourned at 6:08 p.m. Thank you all.